What is good, YouTube? What is good? Welcome into the show once again. Your boy LastWord Productions, aka you feel me, the founder. I said co-founder. I am the sole founder and owner of this. But Tavares Wilson, man, thank y'all for tuning into the show once again. As you all know, we're live on YouTube and Facebook as we speak currently. So if you're not doing so already, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the bell notification to be notified whenever we go live, as well as Facebook, man. You can like and follow on there as well. And I'm on multiple other social media platforms. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. You feel me? Master Productions. Look me up 9 out of 10 times. I'm there. But let's jump into some NBA news, man. We gotta get to the finals first and foremost before anything else because the finals are upon us. As we all know, the OKC Thunder have taken a commanding 3-2 lead in this series, and they have a chance to win it all tonight and to win their first title in quite some time. I believe it'll be the first title in franchise history, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, but I believe that's correct. With all that being said, though, OKC will not be where they are right now if it was not for the play of Jalen Williams. I said this going into the series against the Nuggets and the series going just into the championships period. I said in order for OKC to take that next level to be a championship team, they needed J-Dub to be phenomenal. And he's been downright outstanding the last two games. I mean, yeah, the game 4, I believe he was a little inefficient. Still got to the free throw line. Still made some timely shots, stuff like that. We were getting 4 or 5. Excuse me. But he was efficient. And I think his efficiency last game was on full display. Got to the rim consistently, finished with both hands as he always does. Had his jumper going early and often. So he was oozing confidence. I mean, Neesmith couldn't do nothing with him. Pascal Siakam couldn't do nothing with him. So he was a guy that was just seen hell bent on getting whatever he wanted on the court at that time. So I think, in all honesty, man, I think it's over tonight. I think the Indiana Pacers are dealing with too much on their side of the ball. You got Tyrese Halliburton fighting through a calf strain, which he will be playing tonight through. So, hey, big ups to him, more power to him. Hopefully he doesn't worsen it and it doesn't get to a point where it can potentially derail him for the next season. But big ups to him for trying to pull it through. But I just think it's going to be off and not. I think it's over tonight. I don't think there's a chance of hell a limping Tyrese Halliburton and the wounded Pacers can come in and beat an OKC Thunder team that just simply seems to want it more now in terms of them wanting to end it more so than the Pacers wanted to stay alive. It's just not happening in my personal opinion. Now, could they go on to win this game? Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're at home. OKC is visiting. It's going to be a tough game, but is it doable? For sure. But there's no way God's green earth from picking them to win the game 7 in Oklahoma City. I'm just not doing it. Hey, we got Will in the building, man. What's up, bro? How you feeling?
Shit, I'm good, bro. What's up?
Not much, man. So just over here talking about the finals, is it gonna end tonight? Are the Pacers done? What you think, bro?
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It could go either way. I mean, we've been kind of lackluster. I feel like offensively, a couple games. So, I mean, they're matching up well. It seems they're well coached. Like I've been saying, they're really well coached. The Pacers. So, I think it will, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers take it.
Okay. I mean, I was just saying, I don't know, man. With Tyrese playing with a bad calf.
Oh, I
You got
forgot he was in
Pascal.
there.
Yeah, you got Pascal Siakam, who's pretty much been that lone, consistent offensive player every night. I mean, everyone else seems to play their role well, but you never know what you're getting out of guys like Obi Toppin, Aaron Nimhard, D. Smith, Matherin, like these guys are wild cards. They could give you anywhere between 6 points a night to 22 points a night. You don't know. So
Right.
without consistency, it's kind of hard to really depend on them closing out or keeping the series alive, I should say, when they're the wounded animal right now. I mean, this is it. If you it's when to go home, when to take it all, basically. So if their mentality isn't eat or be eaten, I think it's done, regardless of how you want to look at it.
Right.
But let me get your thoughts on what you think of Jalen Williams this series, man. Like I was just saying before you got on, I think he's been I think he's been good. I thought the first two games he was a little off his game. He looked like he was
Yeah.
playing antsy, trying to press too much, in my opinion. But the last two games, he's really come alive. What you think about that?
Yeah, I'd say the same. I feel like the nerves is probably there. I think majority of the team were struggling with nerves. I mean, when you look at them playing the way they're putting up shots, they weren't getting to their spots right. Their timing was off. So I think the last two games they kind of settled in more so. Last two, three ish games they've been more settled in. Excuse me. And just playing the basketball that they're used to playing, getting to their spots, making sure that they're getting in the paint and they're spreading out and everything. So
Mm, yeah, for sure. I think I think one thing that stood out to me about the OKC period is I think Alex Caruso has showed why he was brought in. Man. I think
hmm
him having these not just the 20-point games. I know everyone was raving about how he pretty much he didn't have a single 20-point game in the entire season. Now he has two in the finals. It shows that the level of play and urgency has risen for him personally.
right.
But the thing for me that moves me with Alex Caruso, and it moved me with him with the Lakers, it's the timely baskets he make. It seems if whenever you need a three to keep you within Lawrence reach, he seems to always knock down the three to keep them within the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
It just seems to be his bread and butter. Like, I mean, he's a damn good player, man. He's one of the better role players in the league. We all know this.
definitely.
To see him literally keep them alive, and I think it was game five when they took the 3-2 lead. So
Yeah,
it was beautiful to see, in my opinion, because this
yeah,
was a dude who just honestly just seeing to take his game to another level offensively when it comes to his team needing him the most, if that makes sense. And he just seems always answers the bell, man. I can't really explain what it is, but
yeah.
that
He
just seems
just
to be
he
him.
just in the moment he just feel it like you know what I'm saying. He's one of them guys. Like there's guys throughout all the years. You know what I mean. Whether it's championship basketball, whether they never made it that far and it's like more regular season or earlier in the playoffs, there's guys where they may not be the most special. You know what I mean. They may not be the most offensively talented. They may not have the deepest bag. Anything. But when you need a timely bucket, then they're just there. Like they're there to get you 15, but all 15 meant something. All 15 kept it close. Maybe some of those 15 put you up late in the game. Like, and then on top of that, he's also been one of the leaders defensively for the team. You know what I'm saying? Like the just the difference in technique. You know what I'm saying? The way they're getting after the rock when players are handling it and jumping past lanes. Like you could just tell that once he came, he brought a little more defensive minded, you know what I'm saying, teaching the other guys like this is what to look for when players are doing this and that. Like so he's definitely been a great contribution to the team.
Right, for sure. He's definitely one of those players, and I thought a guy who I thought similar to at one point in his career was Danny Green as well, until he kind of fizzled out, injuries
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But at one point in his career, Danny Green was one of the most reliable 3-and-D wings in the league, and
Yep.
it showed consistently once he pretty much hit his prime. But I that's how I view Alex Caruso. I mean, I think
Right.
he's a
That's a good
better
comparison.
yeah, I think he's a better like on ball defender than Danny Green was, but Danny Green as a whole was just always a pest on the defensive end. And he was a great shooter. Now he's a
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the
yeah. He was
shooter.
a better offensive player
Yeah,
than Caruso, but
yeah. But that's who he has similarities, or he draws similarities to me. Like
yeah,
he's not gonna ever be the guy that's gonna give you 25 a night. That's never gonna be him. But he's the guy who, when you need a bucket, he can give you one.
right.
Like he's that type of
Yeah,
player.
he's reliable.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move off into the Kevin Durant saga right now, man. Like there's a lot of teams acquiring about his services. He's made it known the three destinations. He said the Rockets, he said the Knicks, which the Knicks said they don't have any interest of getting KD, which is crazy to me. And he said the Spurs. So which out of those teams, which do you think would be the best fit for him?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think best fit for him, I best fit for him probably the Rockets. If I had to just go off the top of my head, I mean, I think they got a lot of good athletic pieces, and then put that with a prolific scorer. I feel like it might set him up for the best success. Just in his age and where he's at in his career. But
Mm.
I think which team probably would be elevated the most or would change the most would probably be the Spurs. Like if you put him with Wemby, bro, like and goddamn, who's the guard they got again?
They got De'Aaron Fox.
Fox, yeah, yeah. So you come on, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That'd be a nasty trio, bro, to try to play against. Like,
Yeah, then don't forget they still got Basil, the guy who was,
oh
just
yeah,
NBA Rookie
yeah.
of the Year.
Yeah, they got they
So they,
got they got younger guys, and then they got decent role players there too. Like they're not a sorry team, but they need that final piece to really set them up.
yeah, they just do need a. Honestly, he's exactly what they need, and that's why I
Right,
believe he will be perfect for the Spurs in terms of fit and like how you alluded to, like elevating a team to another level. Because in my opinion, he's what they're missing. I mean, De'Aaron Fox may not be the greatest playmaker at the point guard position, but he doesn't need to be. I mean, he just needs to be able to move the ball, and he could do that. You
yeah,
got you
right,
got probably the best rim protector in the league, and Victor would be he's probably the best defender in the league, period, when he's healthy. So, I mean, you got a guy who you bring in and Kevin Durant, who's a walking 27 points per game. I mean, that's just who he's
right.
been his entire career. So you
And just
bring that
imagine
in
that, like him and Wemby, like all the shit he can teach Wemby. You know what I mean? Just on how
exactly. So
on
it's
how
like,
dribble moves, how to get to your spots, how to shoot higher, how to hit line drives, pull ups when you're on the move, like everything he could teach him because he's also a bigger guy. Like granted, he's not as tall, but he's also a bigger guy that kind of plays similar offensively. You know what I mean? So he could really learn a lot from him, and then on top of that, it would take a lot of the load off of him being like the main offensive threat and help him be able to grow his offensive bag and everything. Wow, there's another person that's a more high profile scorer that the defense has to focus on.
right. I agree with that. I mean, whenever you bring in all time great talent, I mean, it's going to benefit your young players for sure. And
Right,
it's just more so would benefit Wemby for the exact things you just said. I mean, Wembyama plays a similar game to Kevin Durant. I mean, yes,
right,
he's a big at the end of the day, but he plays like a guard on the perimeter. He can put the ball on the floor,
right.
drive.
If he
So
was a little like faster, like a little quicker, he'll literally damn near play just like KD. He'd probably play exactly like KD do because of KD's a little more athletic than most bigs, but he's obviously way bigger than guards and most other forwards. And so
yeah,
what I'm saying? He got the best of both worlds when it comes to an offensive bag. That's the same way Wemby would probably play like down to a T if he was just a little more like athletic, quicker.
yeah, for sure. So that's why I agree with you there. Like he could definitely learn a thing or two from KD. I mean, there's no doubt about it at all.
Facts.
But the thing with the thing about the Rockets that intrigue me though is because I think the Rockets are just I think they're oozing young talent. Man. I think you got
Right,
Sengun, you got Thompson. I mean, I know some people losing hope in Jalen Green. I'm not there yet, but I see why people aren't as high on him. I mean, I get it, but
right,
I still think it's something there. He's too talented of a player to just throw to the curb. I mean, if he's in a trade package for KD, I understand. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But
right.
if
I
he's
also think
there,
it
I
would
don't
kind of
have
it
a
would kind
problem.
of be like the same thing as a Wembanyama. Like you bring KD in, and it also allows him, you know what I'm saying, KD to teach them same thing, how to get to their spots, dribble packages, pull ups, like all the things that he brings on the offensive side, and he does it consistently. So he's gonna
Yeah,
teach proper form. He's gonna teach proper footwork. You know what I mean? Because that's what KD does best. His footwork is always on point, and his form is always on point. That's why he's so goddamn consistent.
right, for sure. I think those young players in the Rockets could benefit from that a lot. I mean,
Facts.
yeah, they got a veteran Fred Van Vliet, but it's like I said, it's completely different when you're learning from an all time great. It's
Right, like Van Fleet, he's a good player, but he ain't KD.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I think either situation would benefit greatly from having KD. I thought the Knicks would have been the most obvious choice for him because the Knicks are out of those three teams, they're probably the most equipped right now to win. And
Yeah,
I
they're the
think
most
he
title ready
does.
for sure.
Yeah, I think he does want to win at least one other ring before he hangs it up. So I was shocked to hear that the Knicks wasn't really interested. I mean, I understand they don't really have much capital to move anymore, but I mean, it's the NBA, man. You can make stuff happen. We don't see people trade 100 picks. Like it's not impossible. I mean, hell, we just seen the Magic give up 4 first round picks of Desmond Bain. I mean, it's not insane to do or to be heard of. So
That trade was insane.
yeah, it was for sure. The thing that I would say about the Desert Bay trade, since we ain't talk about that yet. The only thing I did not like about the trade was that they gave up the Phoenix first round pick that they had acquired in the trade, and that's the only thing I would have tried to hold on to. I mean, giving up KCP, fine, whatever. Giving up Cole Anthony, fine, whatever.
Right,
Giving up 2 or 3 picks, I mean, it may be a little steep for Desmond Bain, but you live with it.
right.
Giving
Especially
up,
if that's the player you feel like is gonna take you to the next level.
yeah, exactly. But giving up a pick that could potentially be a top 8, 6 pick, I mean, that's where it kind of lost me because
I
it's
mean,
like the
especially without KD. You know what I'm saying? KD's gonna be gone. Fucking Booker. And then who else they got? Like, come on. So they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, just what everyone would assume.
yeah,
I also didn't like that. I also didn't like that.
yeah. That's the only thing I didn't like. I mean, I'm like I said, you live with the rest of the stuff because at the end of the day, it's the NBA, man. It's you need stars to drive this league, and you need
Yeah.
talented players. You
And the one of the things about the NBA, like compared to like the NFL, like NFL picks are usually more consistently hit earlier in the draft. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like NBA. I mean, it just be anything. Like
Yeah, I'm
you
about to
never.
say once you get out the top five, really after that, it's like you just hoping to get a
You
good, reliable player.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. Like and the NFL, like the whole first round is usually damn near starters. Everybody who's drafted in the first round is usually a starter. Damn near everyone
Mhm.
a lot of players drafted in the second round, some third, you know what I'm saying, and even down further, be starters, like damn near halfway through the draft. In the NBA, it's like if you're not one of them first select few picks, you're kind of just in the mix of things.
Yeah, I about to say outside of the lottery picks, I mean after that you're pretty much just in loop about who you getting. I mean, it's
Right.
not that we haven't seen guys be good. It's just that when you look at the rarity of them becoming like all stars or even I dare say superstars is rare because these guys simply just don't become that a lot of times. I mean, the superstars we talk about, these dudes be top picks in the draft classes, whether it's someone like Braun, whether it's someone like KD, D Book. I mean, these are lottery picks. These are guys who were expected to be great. So it's kind of difficult to say one way or the other when someone can be great when you pick them as the 22nd pick in the draft. I mean, not that it can't happen, but
Just less
it's
likely.
not as likely. It's
Right.
exactly it's not likely. And I think that's why I'm not too bothered by the amount of picks the Magic gave up from Desmond Bain because Desmond Bain is a good player. I know a lot of people don't want to say that because the Grizzlies tried to build this bully reputation around the league and shit, and he was one of the main ones trying to enforce it for whatever reason. But he's a good player. This man he could
No,
give you
he's
20 a night.
definitely a good player.
Yeah, he give you 20 a night. He one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. And he's really what they needed. They had no perimeter shooting at all. Like they have none. So
Right.
they needed more from their perimeter scores because from Jalen Suggs to KCP to Cole Anthony, they had
Right.
nothing. Those dudes
Facts.
gave them nothing.
And
So
another
they
thing is he's not scared to get out there and defend one on one. Like so.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not. I mean, he may not be the greatest defender in the world, but he gives effort. And
And
that's mostly what
he
people
can stay in front of people, and that's all you can
yeah.
really ask for in the NBA. Like he can stay in front of you. Obviously, the greats are just going to be great, but he'll be out there. He can stay in front of people.
Yeah, for sure. And that's all you need sometimes to get a stop. That's all you need. So
Facts.
I personally did not dislike the trade because of those reasons, but the only thing I did not like is that they gave up that Suns pick. If they would have kept that Suns pick, I would have thought, hey, you know what? You go after the guy you want, like you said. But giving up that Suns pick, that was a little crazy to me.
Yeah.
That was the only part of the trade that I thought was a little okay. They ODing a little bit, but
Right.
I mean they got man. I can't say too much, but let's get off into the NFL, man. I want to speak a little bit about the NFL, and let's talk about Jair Alexander signing with the Ravens. As we all know, he signed yesterday. Lamar Jackson and him was showed to be, embracing one another. You feel me? He recruited him he was telling the owners, we need to go get this dude, blase, blase. So now he's expected to be starting outside along with Nate Wiggins and throwing Marlon Humphrey back in the slot. So what's your thoughts on the move, bro? I know you're still a fan, so what's your thoughts on the move?
Bro, I'm irritated, bro. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not because it's like people's gonna be like, oh, he's been injured. He's been injured like for the past 3 years. I think he only played like an average like 7 games a year or 6 games a year, something crazy.
Mm.
But the thing is, players go to the Ravens and then they're just a completely new player, bro. That shit pisses me off every time. Like I already know how this is gonna go. He gonna be Pro Bowl, maybe even All Pro form. He gonna ball out. Yeah, I mean that's just what happens. Derek Mason, people was trying to push the narrative that Derrick Henry was going to fall off. I mean, there was no evidence of that. But even so, if you wanted to throw him in there, and just other players, Steve Smith, like the list just goes on and on, bro. You get a player that people were saying is going to be washed up, and then they go there and revitalize their career. So
Yeah, man. It's honestly, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this now because I want this to be known. There's there's no excuses next year. There's none. I mean, we can sit here and make all the blames in the world about coaching, which is listen. I'll be the first to tell. I think Harbaugh is not a good coach.
bro,
I've been
I've
on
been
record.
saying it. I've been saying it too. So I'm right there on the
I've
same
been
track.
yeah, I've been saying that for the longest. But the reality of the situation is the team is too talented to not get to the next level. And unless it's on some, just out of your control shit, there's nothing else to be said for why Lamar can't get to the next level. And I've been an avid Lamar fan and defender because I feel as if sometimes the ball does just not pan out sometimes for you. And it is what it is. But
Right.
you go out and you get Jair. This is a guy you went and told your ownership or your GM that you need, and he's one of the missing pieces to get to that next level. Well, now it's time to show that. Now, at the end of the day, the AFC is still the AFC. It's tough. You got to still go through a lot of guys, but I believe as we speak, this past season, Lamar Jackson was the best football player in football last season. I expect him to, at the very least, come back and be a top 3 player in the league. So it's about what you can do now. And I understand the fans are the fans. A lot of them, they're not going to forget the past and stuff like that. They're going to hold on to it until you prove them wrong. Just, it's time to get the work done, bro. And it's like it was just like I said with the Dolphins. Like, at the end of the day, no one is going to care about the excuses. You got to get it has to get done now. That's it. Point blank period. It's the same shit I said about Tua. Same shit I said about Jalen Hurts before this season kicked off. And I said if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, it's a problem because they too damn good of a team. So it has to be that standard now. And we're gonna see how it pan out. We're gonna see.
Right. This is what year? This is going into year 8 for Lamar. 7, 8.
I think it's 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's. He came out the year before Tua, so yeah, it's 7.
Okay.
So we're gonna see, man. Listen, man. I think when it's all said and done, I said this already. I think Lamar is gonna be a top 10 quarterback of all time. I truly believe that, and I think he's that damn good. But he got to put rings on the resume.
I mean,
He,
he's already on trajectory. He got 2 MVPs. I mean, he been to the AFC title game. He just, I mean, let's be realistic, bro. People do not beat Mahomes, like, and I think that it has to be like to a certain degree because I'm a huge Lamar critic. Like, I think he's uber talented, but I criticize him heavy. But people do got to just realize that like we got to start easing up a little bit on other players and just realize how great like Andy Reid and Mahomes are. I mean, it kind of just is what it is. Like, we got to stop making it they can't beat them, so they're not good. Like, no, they're great. It's just you have arguably the best quarterback, however you want to put that, and the best coach together.
mm,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, for
like
sure.
it's damn near almost an impossible duo to beat, just like Brady and Belichick. And they couldn't even beat Brady and Belichick. Both times they met them in the both times they met Brady in the postseason, they lost. So like it just shows you how valuable having that top guy is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about that. Like you said, sometimes you do gotta tip your cap to the other guy across from you, man. I mean, it is what it
Right.
is sometimes,
Facts.
but you know, at some point, man, I'm expecting the Ravens to find a way to get through that hump. And
Yeah.
just like with the Bills, I mean, a lot of people say Josh Allen can be this X, Y, and Z. He has to figure out that same hurdle.
Facts.
Like this is the
Facts.
same guy. So we got to see. It's gonna show this year, man. I think it's gonna be a year to show whether or not these guys can really step up to the plate. So,
Yeah.
but on the other news though, Nick Chubb did sign with the Texans on a 1-year deal. Let me just get your quick thoughts on that, bro. What you think of Chubb going to the Texans?
I thought it was a good solid sign. Do they still got Joe Mixon?
Yeah, they do.
Oh well, then I think it's a great signing for them. It gets him back into the motion. Getting his feet under him on a new franchise. I mean, he doesn't have to be the feature, the premier guy. He's coming off what like 2 or 3 fairly serious injuries in what the past couple of seasons. Yeah, I mean the
And
things that
he's coming off. He's coming off a lot of shit. I'm surprised he ain't retired. To be
right.
honest.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it gives him a chance to kind of get his feet under him. He got a whole nother off season under him now. After playing out the rest of the year last year.
Mm.
It kind of just I think it's a good signing for them because they really don't lose anything. If he doesn't pan out, they don't lose anything. He was cheap and he has the potential to be, a pretty much amazing duo with Joe Mixon back
Yeah, for sure. They do have a chance to
there.
be arguably one of the best duos in the league. I mean,
Right. It just all
it's like
depends
I
on
agree with you.
how he
It's
comes
high
back.
risk. It's high reward, low risk. I agree with that completely. So they honestly, to me, the Texans, they taking the swing at it, man. They got to see where it go, I guess. But
Right.
I
Another
think,
thing people forget is like the Texans O line was super beat up last year, along with the wide receivers and everything else. Like the only really steady pieces there were Joe Mixon and C.J. Stroud. You know what I mean? So if everyone's going to be healthy, a chance to get everybody back together, get the fluidity of the offense down. Like there's so much untapped potential there simply because of all the inconsistency in the health of the players last year.
you're right, for sure. What's what's your thoughts on the Terry McLaurin contract situation though? I know you said you was gonna look into it. What you thought?
I'm not gonna lie, man. If I was the Redskins, man, I just reach out to him, bring him in, crunch numbers, and figure out a way to get him what he wants. I mean, because let's be realistic. Outside of Jay and Daniels, he is the most valuable player on that offense.
Yeah,
So, so I don't really get. Well, honestly, in my opinion, I mean, everybody thinks differently. I don't really understand what's so difficult about getting the one consistent guy that's been there for what? When was he drafted? Like 2018, 2019.
yeah, he been there about 7 years. He was drafted the same time as AJ Brown and them guys. So
Right. So, what I mean? I don't understand what's so hard about paying the guy who stuck around through all the BS y'all done did. All the poor teams, poor offenses he done played with, no quarterbacks.
mm,
I mean, and he just want paid, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's not a pro player thing. It's not a pro franchise thing. Like, but when it comes down to it, as a franchise, the one guy who has stuck around, you should want to pay him. Like I don't know. Like that's just me personally.
yeah, I agree. I agree completely. I think what he is to that team is an invaluable and just unmovable asset. I think he's your
Right.
best offensive player. Period. I mean, I know Jaden Davis is Jaden Daniels, but Jaden Daniels at the end of the day was on a rookie first year. You feel me? We got to see how it goes. Terry McLaurin has been in top 10 receiver talks since he's been in the league for the.
Facts.
So this is a guy who is one of those
Consistently
ones.
good. Right.
Exactly. So you have to be able to compensate that. Now I did see conversations and whispers that he wanted money along the realms of Justin Jefferson and these guys. I'm not sure if he's that, but I will say this: the Commanders have more than enough money. They can give out contracts. I I wouldn't be hurt or I wouldn't be shocked that they were to give him that kind of money because he's a damn good player. So I mean, you give your good players the money. I mean
Right.
that's usually how it works.
I mean, if I was them, I would front load the contract. However, long they're going to do it. I'd front load it with most of the money, and then give him incentives to hit in order to, what I'm saying, get up there. Like personally, if you don't want to take that, then trade him. I mean, somebody's going to trade for him. I don't know if they're going to want to pay all that money, but I'm sure they can all figure it out. Whatever happens. I mean, there's a lot of teams who got cap space, who don't got wide receivers, who need wide receivers. Maybe wide receivers the last piece that they feel they need, and they're gonna be willing to pay that. You know what I mean? So it kind of just whatever. But if I was the Commanders, I'd find a way to make it work. Like
Yeah, for sure. I think they have to,
Yeah.
honestly.
Because without him,
That's,
they're not going to be the same team they were last year, not even close. Like in like all due respect, but they weren't the most amazing team last year. Their offense carried them tremendously, mainly because of him and Jane Daniels. So you gotta either do that or you gotta trade him for another player you feel can come in and, if not match, bring almost the same productivity, and then get like maybe another lesser player or a pick for him that you could, potentially replace his productivity the following year. Like, it's not going to make sense to not pay him and then also not trade him for something that's equally as valuable.
yeah, I agree for sure. I mean, I think, he's still, I think he's 29, still young, still, one of the better deep threats in the league. This is a guy who pretty much was every week for them, just finding a way in the end zone and getting it done. I mean, they, to me, you can't put prices on these things because of the fact that he's just one of the most consistent pass catchers in the league. And in the
Right.
league we're in today, you need consistency from your playmakers. I mean, you just do.
Right.
You need playmakers on the outside to make plays. And he does that as well as the other 8 to 9, 10, whatever receivers in the league who we think are the top guys. I mean,
Right.
he's just that good. So it's a lot like when the Dolphins were questioning paying Jalen Waddle, or even with y'all situation with George Pickens. I mean, to me personally, man, I mean, when you got talent like that, man, I mean, they may not always do it for you week in and week out in terms of the stat sheets, but any given play they can win you a game or like
Right.
come up with a critical, first down catches, whatever the case may be. I think you can't really put price tags on that. So they have to be able to make it work, because I think just realistically, like you said, without Terry McLaurin, that team is going nowhere and nowhere fast. And that's after an offseason where they made moves to win next year. I mean, you didn't go out and get Devo Samuel or Laramie Tunsil and these guys to be competitive 10 years from now. No, you did that for tomorrow. So to me, you got to assemble the best roster you can. And that
Right.
includes Terry McLaurin. But with all that being said, though, man, I want to get off into a segment, man, as we did before, man. We're gonna do a keep three, cut five, bro. We're gonna do running backs though.
All
So
right.
let's get into that, man. So first name up I got for you, my boy. I got Joe Mixon.
Kind of like the low of the top tier running backs or high of the mid tiers. It's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go cut. I'm gonna cut Joe Mixon.
Okay. You're cutting Big Joe. All right. Next name. I got Devon A. Chain.
Uh, I'll see how this is gonna go. All right, I'm also gonna cut him. I'm gonna go with two cuts right off the back.
All right. We got Jameer Gibbs
Keep, definitely.
for sure. You got Chuba Hubbard.
Cut.
You got Bijan Robinson.
Keep.
You got Kenneth Walker.
All right. So what is that? We've done five now. Five people.
Yeah,
So I got
yeah,
three.
we did five, and it's the six right now. So
I
you
got.
kept.
All right. I got three people left. I can only keep one. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
keep K9. I'm not gonna keep him.
All right. Next name I got for you. I got Aaron Jones.
I'm not gonna keep Jones either. I'm gonna take whoever's last.
All right. So let's just review. So you had kept Jameer Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. You cut Joe Mixon, Devon A. Chain, Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Walker, and Aaron Jones. So the running back you are keeping is Josh Jacobs.
Okay, I'm not too mad at that, but I would have probably kept Kenneth Walker over him.
Okay,
Just
so
it
yeah.
just player for player. I might have kept Aaron Jones over him. You know what I mean? But I don't. I'm not too mad at that. I'm not too mad at that one.
All right, cool. So I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was gonna keep Joe Mixon. I ain't gonna lie.
I was, but as the first person, I just couldn't trust it. I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't trust it as the first one. Like if he'd have came up like third, I probably would have kept him.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe was one of the ones for the Texans last season, man.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's gonna be it for the show tonight, guys. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. For those who tuned in, if you're not doing so already, go ahead, hit like, subscribe on the channel, YouTube, Last Word Productions. Hit that bell notification to be notified whenever we do go live. And next week, man, we should have more people on the pod. That way, get more clips in and just more entertainment. So before we head out, you got anything you want to say, Will?
yeah, man. Pittsburgh, 2025 Super Bowl champions, man. Come on, man. Like, just respect the hustle, man.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, before I forget, what you thought of signing Aaron Rodgers, man?
I'm depressed, man. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's good. It's good if you want to, like use them to maybe see if you can develop Will Howard. Because he got good he got good size. For a quarterback, he got he's decent in his cerebral and his arm talent's not bad. I mean, if you were trying to see what you can work with him, get Aaron Rodgers to teach him some things like that for Will Howard. I'm not mad at it. I mean, I would have preferred not to sign him just because it really does nothing for us at this point. I honestly, me personally, just I figure just throw Will Howard out there and just kind of let him rock out this one season. You see how he progresses through the year. If you think it's a good trajectory, then next year, if you can still draft a quarterback, and then you could just you have two young guys fighting it out to see who you think is better. I don't know, but just for the signing alone, I'm not a fan of the signing. I'm not really a fan of Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career. I mean, he's obviously the best quarterback we have on the roster, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what it really does for us as far as going towards the future or winning a Super Bowl.
I get you, man. I mean, everybody is no secret, man. If you watch me long enough, people know Rodgers my guy. I think Rodgers the best to ever lace it up, to be honest. But at some point, he needs to. I think people have to let it go about him still being this top two, not two quarterback in this league. I mean, it's a real argument that he's not even top 10 right now. So I
Right,
mean, at the end of the day, he's I think Rodgers is one of the five best easily quarterbacks that ever played the game, but I think those days are behind him. And it pays me to say that because again, I'm a Rodgers guy. That's my guy. But
right,
it's just not him no more. I mean, it is what it is. Father Time is undefeated, man.
right,
That's
right.
what they say. But
What about T Higgins, bro? You want to do that?
oh, you know what you did say, T, bro. Let's see. Let's go through the teams, man. We're gonna make this a segment. Segment is gonna be: can we find 10 teams that T Higgins, not 10? Let's say what? How many teams in the league? 32. Let's say 16 teams. If we can get more than 16, I think that will make T Higgins undoubtedly a top 15 receiver. But if we can't, I think we can make the argument that his other guys better. So let's go through the teams and let's see who I think he's questionable to be that one for. Do you think he could be the one for Detroit?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Yes, bro. I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm gonna keep it tall. Like Amon say Brown's a great player. But I think he benefits a lot from the system. I think he benefits a lot from the fact that the Lions' offense is just so high powered, specifically in their offensive line. I mean, let's be
Mhm.
realistic, bro. If he was there with Jared Goff with an average line, I don't see it. I mean, T. Higgins can make plays against any corner at any time with any quarterback. I mean, he's a physical freak. He's what 6'5". And
Yeah.
he's fast. He runs good routes. I mean, he's not the best route runner, but he runs good routes. He got good hands. I don't see personally, in my opinion, like in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. I mean, he's better at the catch point.
Mm-hmm.
He's better with the ball in his hands for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just as physical as a player if he needs to be. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown's a Heinz Ward type guy, but uh, fucking T Higgins is not no small, not no pushover. I mean, so I don't necessarily see how Amon-Ra St. Brown is definitively better as a player.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Amon-Ra is a two-time All-Pro, but I
Right.
can see what you're saying. I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes pound for pound, skill for skill, I mean, T. Higgins, head and shoulders to me, is the better receiver between the two. So I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
Another
bro.
another
They
one.
was grilling me earlier, bro. I'm telling you, they was grilling me earlier for that take, which is crazy. But I mean, if you turn on the tape and watch them play, I don't know. There's a separation, bro. Like just to me, like
Yeah, for sure. And the biggest, this is the biggest downfall of Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not a deep threat receiver, and that
at all.
is the discrepancy he has from the other number ones in the league. I mean, when you look around the league, you look at the other number one options. You look at Tyreek. You look at Jamar Chase. You look at
Yeah,
Jetta,
there's not
AJ.
one number one receiver that is not a deep threat because that's what a number one receiver is. They can do everything.
Exactly. That's what they do. They can take the top off of the defense any given week, any given play.
Right, and
He's
that's T
never
Higgins
been
can
that.
he can run the route tree, and just like I said, he got reliable hands. He's better at the catch point. He's better after the catch. Like I don't, I mean, he's not as good of a route runner as Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not as physical, but he's definitely faster, and he's definitely more reliable to take off and go to the house when you get that ball. Like I don't,
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. But next team I got for you. This is an interesting one to me. I got the Jets. You think you could be the one though?
who
The Jets.
who's their number one? Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I like T. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a little closer than I mean, I think it's closer than the Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I just when you got a receiver of T Higgins size, if they're comparable players, I'm always gonna take the player of that stature. Like that's like like let's say like Randy Moss versus T.O. Some people like T.O. Me personally, I would take Randy Moss simply because he's the physical freak. You know what I mean? But I'm not mad either way. I personally like T Higgins though.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a tough one. That's tough because I love Garrett Wilson game, but I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you want
I
to talk
like Garrett
about
Wilson. I think he's
technique,
faster. He runs better
route
routes,
running.
but
Yeah, I think the only thing that kind of gives it pushback is that I think T. Higgins' hands are better. I think he's more short-handed for sure. So that's where the iffiness come in for me. But for sure, I respect it. Let's go to the next team. You think he could go to the Bears and be they one over DJ Moore?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I think DJ Moore's a little underrated. I think he's a hell of a receiver. I'm gonna just be honest. I think it's debatable, but if if I had to give the edge, I'd probably say I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna keep it short. I think I'd go DJ Moore, but I think T
Mm.
Higgins a hell of a receiver.
Yeah, I think DJ Moore can take that one too. I think he's probably the most underrated receiver in the league outside of
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin.
yeah, he's a hell of a receiver for sure.
Next one I got for you. This is a real interesting one. I think this is gonna be a head scratcher for you because how you say the perspectives about the archetypes. What about the Texans with Nico Collins?
Nah, I'm sorry. Give me Nico Collins, bro. I'm sorry. I like T Higgins, but Nico Collins is a fucking different breed, bro.
Yeah, I
Like
think
I
I
think
think
he
people are
does
starting to realize how
everything.
good he really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I like T Higgins, but I think Nico Collins does everything better than him. Like it may
Yeah.
not be by a huge margin, but he does everything better than him, and he's faster.
What about the Falcons with Drake London?
Mm, That's a good one, but I think I'd take T Higgins. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good one, but I think I might take T Higgins.
Yeah, I think you pretty much got the same player. Honestly, I just think it comes down
Yeah,
to who you think is. more consistent, and I think it is T. Higgins. Next team I got though. What about the Browns? Jerry Judy.
Come, come on, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I like Jerry Judy,
Yeah.
but fuck
I'm
no.
about to say, man, he played well last year, man. He
He
played
did, but
well.
let's be realistic. The rest of his career been inconsistent.
Yeah, for
Inconsistent
sure.
hands. You know what I mean? Like, give me T Higgins.
Yeah, for sure. We gotta you gotta take that with a little grain of salt because he
Yeah,
did have shit quarterbacks in with Denver. But
that's true as well. I'll respect that, but his hands wasn't helping him either.
no, it damn sure wasn't. It damn sure wasn't. Next name I got, man, the 49ers with Brandon Ayuk.
Mm, mm. This is a good one too. This is a good one. Because of how he played last year, I'm gonna go T. But I think that they're very similar in like where they're at placement wise. I'm not mad at either argument. I think Ayuk kind of laid an egg last year,
Yeah, for sure.
and I think that T Higgins just looked better as a player last year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the only thing about it, man, I seen when Brandon Ayuk is right, man,
Bro,
his game is
he's
beautiful to
bro
watch.
nice. He's like a more athletic Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, he is because his route
Yeah,
running is amazing. He's a home run hitter.
and he
He's a guy
catch
who's
everything.
athletic. So I mean, it's if they both right, I'm going with Ayuk.
Yeah,
But if we going off of what we've seen the last time these two were on the field, I would go T. But if I know Brandon Ayuk is on his game, I'm going with Brandon Ayuk.
like if we had did this last year, like 2023 Ayuk, like I would have chose him right off the rip. But because of last year, I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know if he's fizzling out. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch there.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go to one more team who I think could be interesting, man. So let's finish it off with your guys, man. What about the Steelers with DK?
Not gonna make me choose between DK and T. That's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Give me T Higgins, bro. He's more consistent route runner, more consistent hands. He's not gonna lose you 15 yards because he's hot headed.
Mm.
And I like him to go get the ball now. DK is definitely way better with the ball in his hands. Like I'll say that. Like he's almost impossible to bring down 1-on-1 with the ball in his hands. T Higgins is hard to bring down too. But I think that T Higgins does like everything else better, other than run with the ball in his hands.
All right. So let's get into some of the teams who I think personally I don't think he could be the one on, but because I think there's a lot of teams who he could be the one on without question. Like guys
Right.
like
Like the weaker
Arizona,
teams. Yeah.
guys like New York. You talk about the Patriots, Raiders. Like he could easily go there and be their best receiver without question. I don't
Right.
care who the fuck they sign to go out and get. He's coming in and he's gonna be the guy. But
Right.
the ones who seem to be, their number one seem to be kind of on the verge of becoming good or they're on the verge of their career ending. Those are the ones that are interesting to me. And
Right.
the first team I got for you, my boy, is what you think about the Dolphins with Tyreek.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm pretty sure I said this on the podcast before. I like T, man. I like T over Tyreek. I don't know. I don't really know what he was doing last year, and I didn't like what I saw, to be honest, at all. Like, I think I'd take T Higgins right now.
Wow, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna just be honest, bro.
That's
That's just
crazy.
me personally. I didn't like what I saw from Tyreek last
I
year.
mean, I understand, my boy. A personal preference, I get it. But
Right.
what about the Rams? Whoever
No.
you think they one
No.
is.
It don't. Well, I take him over Cooper Cup, but I'm not taking him over Puka.
Yeah, Coop, he went to the Seahawks now.
Oh my god, I completely forgot. I completely
Yeah,
forgot you went there. Who else do they got?
Devontae
Oh,
Adams.
Devontae. Oh no, I don't know. I'm not taking him over either of them. Respectfully, you know what I mean. I like T Higgins, but Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, I feel like are better receivers.
All right. All right, let's get into one more team who I think is interesting, man. What about the Washington Commanders?
Nah, give me Terry. Give me scary Terry. I won't know if I necessarily say he's better after the catch, but they're damn close together, and I feel like Terry McLaurin runs better routes. The hands are about the same. I feel like he's a better deep threat, and I like Terry, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. I think Terry is one of the ones.
yeah.
Let's and this last one gonna be just. Oh, I just want to see exactly like where your mind at with it for real. What about Tampa Bay with Mike Evans?
That's a good one. I think at this point in their careers, I'd probably take T Higgins like going into 2025. But I mean, we know who Mike Evans is, bro. Like
Mm.
he's literally the last generation's T Higgins, bro. Like so, I mean, you could somebody could go either way. I'm taking T Higgins personally at this point right now, 20 going into 2025 season.
Okay, so I think we can agree that T Higgins can go and be the one on at least half the teams in the league. But the thing with that is, it's like it's tough. It's so tough because man, it's like well, let's look at the Jets for example. The reason why I say Garrett Wilson for me personally is because when you look at Garrett Wilson, what he's done with the quarterbacks he's done it with, man, it is crazy that a nigga who played with Zach Wilson most of his career and fucking what was the dude name that just left from the Dolphins? Oh man, I can't remember his name.
Thompson.
No, it was a quarterback. We just released him. I can't remember his name, but Zach Wilson came in there. You had Aaron Rodgers, who pretty much was a shell of what we've seen before, as we all know. But Garrett Wilson somehow, some way, still was productive, even despite everything the organization did to not make him productive. They brought in Devontae Adams to take away his targets and touches. They brought in poor quarterback play. They didn't work out with Rodgers. The offensive line has been shit. And
Terrible.
he's, for whatever reason, he comes in and he still is a consistent 900 to 1,000 yard receiver. And it's crazy to see because when you look at the Jets, their offense seems borderline unwatchable at times.
Yeah,
And he
but he's
still
consistent.
makes it happen. And
Yeah,
that's why I say when you look at guys like Garrett Wilson, I mean, I take that stuff with a grain of salt when it comes to him because it's like,
yeah.
dog, like it's like if you can do that with just incompetent play around you, I can only imagine what you can do with just decent play. I mean, just decent. It ain't gotta be good, just decent.
Well, bro, to be fair, last season, like what the last 10 games or whatever, Aaron Rodgers was way better than what he was in the beginning of the
Yeah,
year.
for sure. He was.
Like
He
he
was.
wasn't like no top five quarterback, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But he was easily serviceable on like probably half of the teams in the league. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So that's also a little bit of grain of salt. Their entire offense started heating up later in the year once Aaron Rodgers kind of got his feet about him, you know what I'm saying, been able to get more cohesion, within gameplay and things like that. So, but like I said, I think T Higgins and him is a good comparison.
Yeah, I think Garrett one of them ones, man. I done seen the
I
way
like
he
Garrett Wilson though.
the way he run his routes. The only thing about Garrett Wilson that could the reason that he doesn't make his way into the top 10 combos to me is because his play is inconsistent at times. And at times I chalk it up to the Jets being the New York Jets. I mean, we know what the Jets are, but
Right. I mean, bad offense, bad scheme, bad
yeah,
players
so
around him. Like, yeah,
and that's why I chalk it up sometimes to that. But other times I watch him go, okay, you better than that. So it's like
yeah, for
it's
sure.
a give or take kind of deal, man.
I mean,
But
let's be realistic though. T Higgins do the same thing.
yeah, he
Yeah,
do for sure.
yeah,
He do. And that's to me, that's the difference between a true one and
a
a guy
borderline.
who has the potential to be a one.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we look at guys like T, Jalen Waddle, hell, just hell, even to me in some capacity, George Pickens, like these guys are talented for sure. They have the talent to
but
be
they ain't
number
putting it all
one.
together. Like,
Exactly. It's not getting put together, and their play is too inconsistent at times. Like
right.
some weeks you can get 8 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown out of them. And the other week you get 4 catches for 40. Like that's not what ones do. They always in that realm of 6 to 8 catches,
Hey, bro, I'm gonna
70
be
to
honest,
100
bro.
yards.
Even though GP went to Dallas, bro, he literally had nobody around him. No quarterback, no O line, and no scheme, bro. I mean, he was literally the lone playmaker on the Steelers offense, bro. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying that. I'm not saying he's like top five. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy like that. But I think like in a situation with either a good offense, like a good scheme, or a good quarterback, I feel like he could be like, you know what I'm saying, in
I
that
think he's gonna do
top
well for the
10-ish range.
Cowboys.
Yeah, like I think GP is a hell of a receiver. Right? He just got, you know what I'm saying, he just be doing stupid stuff.
Yeah,
He
he is,
immature.
but he just he ain't gonna be no one over there because CD one of the ones.
Oh
That's the only
yeah, yeah,
thing.
for sure. He's not
But
better than CD. No, no,
yeah, CD arguably top 3 right now. So that's
no.
it's an argument. It's an
I'm gonna be
argument.
honest. I don't see the argument. I'm gonna be honest. I think we know who the top three is: Jettas, Chase, and Brown. Like I think they're solidified the top three best receivers in the league.
Hey man, that's fun. I don't got a problem with AJ Brown, but CD Lamb, man, you turn that tape on, it's special, man. I ain't gonna lie, it is.
I
It's
mean,
damn damn sure is good. I'm not gonna lie.
oh,
The
he
route
good, bro. He
the
good.
route running, the separation on at the top of his routes, his release. AJ Brown, in my opinion, is a better deep threat. He's more sure-handed. I think they both have elite hands though, but I just think his a tier above. And I think AJ Brown wants the ball in his hands. I think he's a much more dangerous player. I think that's what
Yeah,
gravitates people
I
towards him.
think he's
So
like 1A, 1B most dangerous players. All right, I'm gonna say number two with the ball in his hands behind Jamar Chase. Like, like
yeah,
if it's not
we know
Chase,
how I feel about it.
if it's not Jamar Chase, bro, I don't think no receiver is better with the ball in their hands than AJ Brown. And I think that's one of the main things I take into consideration when I rank players. Like, yeah, you can do all the work to get the ball, but if you're not a home run threat, I can't rank you, you know what I mean, as good or above like other home run threats. Like that's just respectfully, that's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and
That's why I say Chase is, in my opinion, I think he's the best in the business right now because when the ball in his hand, man, you just never know, man. I mean, we talking about 5 yard curl routes turning into 45-yard touchdowns. I mean, it's stuff you can't coach. It's stuff you can't
yeah,
even prepare for. It's just what he is.
yeah,
But
he kind of remind me of like he play like when I watch him play, he's like the Saquon of wide receivers. Like he does everything elite with elite speed, elite agility, elite strength for the position. Like everything he do just look like he's that guy. Like that's kind of what I get. But then you got like Derrick Henry is kind of like let's say Justin Jefferson, like they might not necessarily look the best on tape, like footwork and breaking people down in and out of pockets, whatever the case may be. However you want to put that, not the fastest, whatever, but they always get that shit done. So like,
yeah,
you
for
know what I
sure.
mean, those are the kind of debates where it's like, all right, I don't care who you take. Like either one of them guys could be the best in the league at any given play. Like,
Right. But that'll be it, guys, for the show, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Once again, if you're not doing so already, hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Facebook as well. We live every Thursday, 8:30 Eastern time. But we out, man. Peace.
all right, Brody.
Yo, boy.